Alrighty folks, welcome to this new playlist, and it's going to be all about your basing techniques. And the first question could be, why base your models? Why not just leave them black? Maybe you just want to glue your models to them. And the idea of basing your models is all about creating the environment. It's all about immersion into the game of Warhammer or from any other type of tabletop war game that you might be using miniatures for, including even things like Dungeons and Dragons. And the idea is that perhaps you want to blend your models into the gaming table that you use. For argument's sake, maybe you've purchased a gaming mat or a plastic game table from Games Workshop, and you've built a city block and you want to make sure that your models fit within that urban environment, and so you don't want to have big round black splodges on the table, or not splodges but big round discs of black that your guys are standing on, and you want to mix them into with some urban rubble perhaps. Or maybe you don't have a gaming table and you just use your dining room table as a game board, and use some coffee cups and Pringle tubes and all sorts of things like that to use as terrain. And you can use the miniature base as a way to extend your imagination. So if your guys are walking around on toxic sludge and muddy fields, but you're using a dining room table, perhaps you can then extend your imagination by saying, well, these guys are all walking around on mud and sludge, and that extends to the entire tabletop, and it helps with the immersion. And the other thing as well is that while you're painting, if you've glued it, we have a look here. This guy is covered in paint as I'm painting him away, painting along, and I get the paint all on the base, and it just, you can hide all of those things by adding the base to it. So this set of videos is all about basing, and actually my business name, Bases of Operations Painting Studio, came from my love of making bases and creating bases. In fact, that's what I first started doing, is selling bases that people didn't want to base their models because it felt like a chore, and I was selling bases to people pre-painted and stuff, so you could literally come along and pin your model to the base. Now, pinning is something that I'll get onto another time. A lot of these bases you either will require to pin your model to the base, or perhaps you can actually paint the base after you've finished your model. As with most painting, that's entirely up to you. There's no real right or wrong way of when you should be doing your base. It's purely a case of how do you want to do it. So I'll leave that up to you. But overall, these videos are all going to be about basing. So I hope you enjoy, and feel free, throw them in the comments below if you've got an idea, or if you've been trying to do a base and you're not really sure how you would approach it, or you just generally want to see how I would do something. How would you, if you want to see how would I do a lava base or something like that, feel free, throw them in the comments, and I'll get round to doing them, and hopefully you'll learn a thing or two along the way. Alright, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you get to see all of the uploads that I do, and if you want to get notified, the bell button right next to the subscribe button will make sure that you never miss an upload. Alright, and down below, if you want to help support the channel, beneath all of my social media links and so on to Facebook and Instagram, you'll also be able to find my Patreon and also my PayPal, should you want to help support me onto doing bigger and better things. Don't feel obliged to do so at your leisure. And that just leaves me to say thank you for watching this one, and I'll catch you in the first one. Anyway, catch you later.